40 years ago, a young African girl from New Orleans, Louisiana, named Ruby Bridges successfully integrated the first public school.
This meant that African Americans would now have the chance at an equal education to those that whites were receiving.
Although public schools are now integrated and black and white students receive equal education, there is an achievement gap between white and black students.
An achievement gap? What's that? The term achievement gap refers to the difference in average GPA and standardized test scores of white and black students. It's difficult to really say what it is though, because not everybody's sure of what the achievement gap is.
Here's what our colleagues say about it. I was just wondering, Jake, how do you feel about the achievement gap? What is it?
I don't know what that is. How will you educate me?
There's an achievement gap between white students and black students. What do you feel
step
about
into the picture.
What do I feel about that?
Yeah.
I feel everyone in this country gets the same opportunity, but unfortunately some people don't take advantage of that opportunity.
Okay.
But it's not always their fault.
Alright.
I feel that parents should, that not all parents, not to be racist, but most of the black parents don't, they don't enforce rules for their kids to go to school or work. I think they should, kids should be taught to do work.
Okay. So they just need to do work?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, can I have your John Hank?
I think it's not about whether or not there is, because I feel like most people do agree that there is a different level of achievement from one race or from one demographic of people than another. I think the question is, why is there that achievement gap?
When talking about the achievement gap, the major thing that both educators, scientists, social observers, anything like that look at is the household, because that's the most important part of learning. That's where you do your homework, that's where you learn your values, that's where your parents are, that's where you have the biggest impact in your life. So one of the major things that we're looking at, as well as people in the real world trying to solve this, is the idea of protectors and risk factors. Protector is anything such as, two parents went to college, sports, hobbies, anything that, keeps you focused, keeps you on the road to success. A risk factor is anything that does the opposite, which is you're at risk to fail, such as single parent homes, alcoholic parents, drugs, anything like that. And it just so happens that African Americans are at a higher risk factor rate than any other race. All right, so we're here with Dr. Luther Corbett Jr., principal here at Bryan Elementary School. He's now in his 15th year as head of the school, and we're here to ask him some questions about the achievement gap.
Dr. Cody, the first question I want to ask you is, have you noticed the achievement gap a lot at the elementary school level?
I do see it at the elementary level. We were looking at some results today, and it seems to me that the gap is it's getting narrower at this particular point with many of the interventions that we have available for our students. So that is very good news. I have not had a chance to totally examine the Bryant Pattengill achievement scores, but hopefully I will get a chance to do that very soon, and we'll be able to look at that. Yes.
I was wondering, what do you feel is the main cause of the achievement gap?
That is a very good question, and I'm not sure. I do not have the answer to that. Hard work does pay off. Exposure to various areas of curriculum certainly helps out a lot. But in terms of what caused, I am not certain of that. And I'm sure that there are a lot of folks who wish they knew the reason for that. Because even in middle-class neighborhoods, upper-class neighborhoods, or even a community like Ann Arbor, there still seems to be a gap. And we need to work harder to eradicate that.
This is Mr. Weeks, and he's our 12th grade principal, and he's been brought over from Roberto Clemente to come help narrow the achievement gap. And I was just wondering, as a principal, and what are you trying to do to narrow the achievement gap at Pioneer High School?
I think one of the things we're trying to do is to encourage students to get around any misconceptions they might have about certain classes in terms of AC and AP classes. A lot of kids are capable of doing the work, but for whatever reasons might feel that they don't belong in those type of classes. Also, I think that kids aren't aware of the type of work that goes on in those courses, and if they did have the courage to go in, they might be able to find some success. I don't think that kids are not able to do the work, but they just have misconceptions about the content that goes on in those particular classes.
So we've got to get our education system right. Now, typically what's happened is that there's been a debate between more money or reform. And I think we need both. In some cases, we are going to have to invest. Early childhood education, which closes the achievement gap, so that every child is prepared for school. Every dollar we invest in that, we end up getting huge benefits with improved reading scores, reduced dropout rates, reduced delinquency rates. I think it's going to be critically important.
As you can see from all of our interviews so far, the achievement gap is an issue, and people are working to narrow this gap.
However, there are so many different misconceptions about the achievement. People think it's for this, people. So we're gonna tell them what's what.